He looks like he owns credit. Oh my gosh. Man like Arthur from Batman.
Namaste, dzień dobry, assalamu alaikum, ciao, konnichiwa, bonjour, hola, good morning, good morning, good morning. This is Ken at 10. It's Thursday, the Thursday before Easter, the 6th of April. Great month, April. My birthday coming up. Yes, I'm very old. That's why I've got no hair. How are you? Hope you're well. A couple of things to report. First of all, it's been quite busy actually for the Easter week. We're never exceptionally busy on the Easter week. Contrary to popular belief, a lot of agents say, oh, you must get your house on the market for Easter week. Actually, what we find is that when the children are off school, it's a little bit quieter rather than busier, where people are with their families, having fun, as you can imagine. Weather forecast a bit naff, actually. Right now in Norbury, it's kind of overcast, a little bit grey, no sunshine. And looking at the highs, it's going to be like 14 degrees, 15 degrees as highs over the whole of bank holiday. This looks like very grey, and it's like, oh, really? When's the sun coming? When is that sun coming? So we're closed on Easter Friday, of course, and then we reopen Saturday as usual between 9 and 4, and then we're closed on the Easter Monday. So a break over from the Friday, the Monday. So we're looking forward to that. But we expect not to be exceptionally busy. Having said that, we're looking at the numbers. We're as busy as we were this time last year in terms of the number of viewings. We've got more instructions than we had this time last year, but actually per property we're as busy, which is a good sign. There is still some confidence there, contrary to popular belief. Now, Renters Reform Act. A lot of people are asking me, is it coming? When's it coming? What's it happening? What does it really mean? And the truth is, it's going to mean quite a lot. It's going to mean a sea change in the way that tenancies are conducted. They're going to be open-ended. You're not going to have fixed-term tenancies anymore. You're going to have tenancies which are completely open-ended. That's the first change. And there are other changes as well. Section 21 is due to be removed. That's the ability to have a no-fault eviction. However, it will be replaced by a couple of other grounds, and those grounds will be also mandatory grounds, meaning that a judge has no discretion and has to give the eviction order to the landlords in the event those grounds are made out. And those grounds will be that the tenant is in arrears, or that you want your house back for your own or a family member's occupation, or you intend to sell the property. So the net effect will be, in my view, that the court system will need to change. And the government are already talking about, their cabinet has already been talking about, okay, well, if we're going to strengthen the grounds on behalf of the tenant, we actually need to strengthen the ability of landlords to evict tenants in the event that these grounds are made out. And this is where the difficulty is at the moment, because there is a bit of a shortfall in how the courts are all of a sudden going to fast track all of these evictions, especially when they say that the antisocial behaviour orders could be a 2-week notice. My view will be that this could be lip service, because the 2 weeks will be a notice period rather than an immediate eviction, my guess would be. That will then mean that it would have to go to court. And the court delays at the moment are anywhere between sort of 4 and 12 months. So if you put those two things together, then really, does that mean we'll be able to evict people in 2 weeks if antisocial behaviour is proven? My gut feeling is probably not, to be honest with you. But we'll wait and see. In terms of timing, it's going to be a long while before we see it come through, though. Although it's going through Parliament, I think it's going to go to the back burner. Obviously, we've got an election coming up, not that far away, and I wonder whether this will be knocked on the other side of the election. I think they might like to see it come through for various reasons, not least because renters are voters, and they see that as an angle to get into, particularly the Tory government, see that as a way to get into that side of the voters' heads. However, it does have cross-party support. So in the event that the Conservatives didn't get it and Labour did, or anyone else got income to that, it will end up becoming enshrined in law in one form or another. We've yet to get the full detail on that, but it remains to be seen. A little bit like with the EPC, it looks like that's going to be knocked on again, as I mentioned to you before, to 2028. In fact, December 2028 at the earliest for EPC Grade Cs. Obviously, we don't have that officially yet, but it does look like the EPC Grade C whole scenario is being knocked into the long grass, mainly because they know it will cause an already dire shortage of homes to get even bigger, because many landlords will say, actually, that's a bridge too far. I can't get my property to a C, and I'm not prepared to pay either between £5,000 and £10,000 in order to get it there when I'm already struggling with a mortgage payment which has doubled or trebled, depending on which lender you're with. You know, some variable rates at the moment with buy-to-let are as much as 8%. It's huge, isn't it? When you think it wasn't that long ago, we were talking about 1.5 and 2% rates. We're now talking about 8%. So landlords are struggling. What will that lead to? Well, it will lead to a number of landlords coming to market, and we're seeing that already. Many landlords that have let properties for many years are looking at it and saying, actually, just on the basis of the viability given the new loans, if they bought the property in the last couple of years, chances are they're not quite covering their expenses. And that's why we're seeing such huge rent rises across the UK. That on top of the fact many of those people are getting out of the sector, leading to an even more exacerbated crisis. And it's not going away anytime soon. If you want to get away from that crisis, you need to increase supply. And building homes is where the government should be prioritising, and they're not, in my view. There's too much talk about, still selling council houses, giving people incentives, and then not using that money to build more housing. I mean, come on, wake up. There's a housing crisis. It's not going to get any better. And it's because it's always kicked into the long grass. If you look at the amount of housing ministers we've had over the last few years, none of whom have been very effective at actually solving any of these crises. But there we are. So that's rent over for the day. I hope you're having a great Easter so far. We're certainly looking forward to making sure that everybody's out and viewing for Saturday, because we're closed for Good Friday, of course. And then we've got the Monday off. So we'll be coming back in on the Tuesday morning. I'm over in, I think it's actually near to Clapham Common, Clapham Junction, actually, station, doing a investigation for Homes Under the Hammer. Got a new house over there coming up at auction that's just been bought. Looks like a really interesting one, a big split level, 3-bedroom flat. So I'm over there filming for that on Tuesday morning. Looking forward to that. The broadcast on those does come sometime later. Usually it's 2 or 3 months before it comes to air, because of course, first thing that has to happen is we have to do what we call the second look, which is where it's all done. And then we go back and we reevaluate what they've done, how they've done, what they could have done better or worse, and what it's now worth having the work completed. And then, of course, it needs to be slotted into the BBC's time frame for that particular episode. So looking forward to that. Hope you're having a great Easter so far. And we'll be back on Tuesday with the next edition. Until then, a little quote of the week for you, one which I particularly love. Hope you do too. Life is 10% what happens to you and 90% how you react to it. You like that? Love that one. Life is 10% what happens to you and 90% how you react to it. Good one to think about for the weekend. So thanks very much for watching as always. And thank you to all of our new viewers. I see we've got quite a few new viewers on YouTube and some of the Facebook channels. So thank you for joining me. It's always a pleasure to serve you with property news here locally in southwest London and broader across the UK. So thanks for watching. Take care of yourselves and your families. Have a fantastic Easter. Ciao.